You guys may be familiar with this if you've been doing yoga for a little while, but today's practice, we're going to guide you through into eagle pose. It's kind of a fun one. It's a single leg balance, can be a little challenging. And in setting up the class, I went through and tried to do some symbolism research on the eagle, the animal itself, and found some of the symbolism to be a little comical at first, considering the timing of everything, because two of the common themes or common symbols associated with the eagle is freedom, America, right? But at a time where we all feel a bit locked down, a little bit confined, freedom can seem pretty distant or, like I said, comical. But then the more I started to think about it, it's a good challenge to find new ways to experience a little bit of freedom, to find a new meaning of the word freedom, and how can you still feel free in a time of confinement and isolation. So just something to think about for today, for the week ahead, for today's practice. So thanks for joining me. Let's meet on our backs, face up, and start to draw that attention to your breath. Just that normal inhale and exhale to start. And as you become more in tune with that breath, let's start to constrict a little bit. Closing off the mouth, starting to build heat within, creating that oceanic sound at the back of your throat. Not just with your exhales, but try and create that sound with your inhales as well. It's a little bit easier with your exhales as you force that air out. But challenge yourself to create that oceanic sound with your inhales as well. Really try and challenge yourself to fill yourself up three-dimensionally. Your abdomen, your rib cage, your chest. That rise and fall of the abdomen, but that expansion sideways and down towards the earth as well. On your next inhale, let's bring that right knee into your chest. With your exhale, give it a nice tight squeeze. Keeping it more towards the midline of your body at first. Toes are pointed up towards your knee. Core is engaged, pelvic floor is engaged. On your next inhale, let that knee fall out a bit to your right side body. So creating a little bit more space through your adductors and the inner side of your hip as you squeeze your knee up close as you can get to that right rib cage and that right side body. Another breath here. On your next inhale, placing the left hand on the outer edge of your right knee, and on your exhale, twisting the right knee up and over the left leg. Hips are stacked on top of each other. Doing your best to keep both shoulder blades flat on the mat. Right fingertips are stretched out to the right side. Gaze comes up and over that right shoulder out towards your right fingertips. On your next inhale, kick that right heel out towards your left side body, elongating the right hamstring. Exhale, point those toes up towards your right knee. Creating a little bit of a nervy stretch through the backside of that right leg. Keeping engagement in the twist by trying to plant that right shoulder down into the mat. Staying active through that right leg, kicking the right heel out nice and long. On your next inhale, bring that knee back to center. Give a little squeeze before you exhale, sending that right leg up. Inhale, bring the left knee into your chest. Exhale, squeeze nice and tight, keeping it close to the midline. Toes are pointed up towards the knee. On your next inhale, drop that knee out to the left side body, keeping the toes engaged up towards the knee. Squeezing towards that left side body. Inhale, right hand comes to the outer edge of the left knee. Exhale, sweep that left knee up and over the right leg. Supine twist. Left fingertips stretched out long. Gaze over those left fingertips. Hips are stacked on top of each other. Toes pointed up towards the knee. Shoulders are planted down on the mat. On your next inhale, kick that left heel long. Staying with the twist here. Staying active through that left heel, feeling a stretch through the back of the left leg. Inhale back to center. Give a squeeze to the left knee before you slowly let it join the right leg down. So here, I'm going to talk you through the eagle bind that we'll revisit later on in class. It can be a little confusing. So on your inhale, let's reach both fingertips towards the sky. Spine is nice and long. And we'll start with the left side. So left hand circles up and under the right arm. So we're going to cross the body with the left hand. Bend both elbows and then twisting further into the bind so both palms are facing each other. Does that make sense? So you've got a twist here in your arms. Left hand comes up and under the right. Bend the elbows and then deepen that bind with the hands by planting your left fingertips into the palm of your right hand. Okay? Now from here, bend both knees so your feet are planted firmly on the mat. Take that left foot up and over the right knee, taking a bind with your leg. So left knee is crossed over the right. Inhale, reach the elbows away from your chest. On your exhale, crunch elbows down to knees. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, feet come down. Exhale, crunch. 3 more. Inhale, long. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, long. Exhale, crunch. Last one here. Slowly lowering back down to the mat, releasing the bind in your hands, releasing the bind in your legs. Inhale, fingers point towards the sky. On your exhale, right arm now comes up and under the left. Bend those elbows, deepen the bind by planting the palms together, facing each other. Elbows are stretched away from your chest. On your inhale, right knee comes up and over the left. Exhale, crunch it down. Crunching together with each exhale. 3 more here. 2. And last one. Exhale, release the bind, feet come down to the earth. Rock along the spine, crossing the feet. Make your way up to tabletop. Hands are planted shoulder width distance. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Inhale, send that right heel back, left fingertips long. Staying engaged through the core here, keeping your hips square down towards the mat so we're not opening up to the right side. On your next inhale, left hand only comes down to the mat, right leg stays engaged. Tick-tock that left foot out to the outer edge of your mat. So it's a little kickstand here. And on your exhale, press through the left palm, opening up to the right side for a supported side plank. Keeping that right heel lifted towards the sky so you're not externally rotating at the right hip. That right glute med staying engaged, pressing down through the left palm. Gaze goes up to the sky past those right fingertips. Staying actively engaged through the core. One more breath here. And on your exhale, slowly bring that right hand down beneath the left. Bring the left foot back in, right knee back down to the earth. Inhale, right fingertips go long. Exhale, left heel goes back. Trying to imagine a nice straight line between the right fingertips and left heel. Core is engaged, pelvic floor is engaged. Keeping that left heel high. Hips are square to the mat. Inhale, right hand comes down. On your exhale, kickstand the right foot out, opening up to the left, slow and controlled, supported side plank. Pressing firmly through the right palm, left heel stays lifted, left fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. One more breath here. Exhale, slowly lower back down to tabletop. On your next inhale, tuck your toes under. Shift your weight forward, pressing through the palms, high plank. Creating a slight dome through the chest. Shoulders are pinned down away from your ears, pressing through all 10 fingertips, trying to shove the mat away from you. Inhale, shift forward onto your tippy toes. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your stomach. Inhale, palms of the hands come nice and tight to the sides of your ribs. Elbows are tucked in. Shoulders are squeezed down your back. Inhale, make sure the toes are planted firmly on the earth. Knees lifted, quads engaged, and on your exhale, lifting through that posterior chain, not through the palms of your hands. Your hands are nice and light, low cobra. You can even elevate the palms a little bit, keeping those shoulders engaged, elbows are squeezed together, quads are engaged, knees are lifted off the mat. Exhale, lower all the way down. On your next inhale, arms reach up overhead, tent the fingertips, so just the fingertips, tent the palms, just the fingertips are resting on the ground. On your inhale, lift for seal. Again, quads are engaged, knees are lifted, tops of the feet are planted firmly into the ground, core and your pelvic floor is engaged, shoulders squeeze down your back as if you're trying to pull those fingertips back towards your body. On your next inhale, shift your weight to your right side, freeing up your left hand to tuck up and under, palm facing up. So left hand comes up and under your right armpit. And on your exhale, right hand crosses in front of you. And slowly let the weight of your head fall down towards the mat. Try not to choke yourself here. But we're creating an expansion through the back of that left shoulder. You might feel a little bit in the right shoulder as well. But primarily in that left posterior rotator cuff, just letting the weight of your upper body. You can shift to a comfortable spot. Again, you don't want to be choking yourself. You can use a foam roller or a block to rest your head on if that helps. Staying with this bind, 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, shift your weight towards your left shoulder, sending the right arm out long. Exhale, come back to center, left hand goes long. Staying up in this seal pose. Inhale, shift to the left. Right hand comes up and under that left armpit. Exhale, left hand crosses in front, lower down for a bite. Just switching sides, feel that a little bit more in the posterior cuff on that right shoulder. Last breath here. On your next inhale, shift your weight towards that right shoulder, untucking the left hand. Come back to center on the exhale, right hand goes low. Inhale, hands come in towards the rib cage. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, press the mat away, back to high plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, untuck the toes, pressing up, shining your heart forward, upward facing dog. Knees are off the mat on this one. Exhale, send the hips high, downward facing dog. Start to walk the dog, pedaling it out from side to side. Staying engaged through all 10 fingertips, sending your chest back towards the tops of your thighs, spiraling your elbows inward towards the midline. On your next inhale, slowly make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale for a halfway lift, nice straight spine. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, root to rise, slow and controlled all the way up to standing. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way down. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, sitting back into that chair pose. Again, revisiting this guy from last week. Remember to keep those toes lifted so you're sitting back into the heels. Looking down over your knees so you can see the tops of your toes. Try and challenge yourself to keep your shoulders away from your ears. Seems a little counterintuitive as you reach up above your head. Inhale, hands come to heart center. On your exhale, plant through the left foot, bringing the right knee up to 90-90, single leg mountain pose. Actively pressing through all four corners of that left foot, left glutes engaged. Inhale, shift your weight forward. On the exhale, slow and controlled. Send that right leg back, arms overhead, high crescent lunge. You may need to play with your foot placement a little bit, making sure that left knee's not out in front of the left toes. Hips are square towards the front of the mat, so driving that right hip forward, left hip goes back. Now from here, we're going to take that eagle bind with our arms. So right arm this time is going to sweep up and under the left, bend in the elbows, and then complete that bind with the right fingertips planting into the left palm. Inhale, shift your weight forward, keeping the bind in the arms. On the exhale, slow and controlled, step that right leg forward, single leg mountain with the eagle arms. Here we're really trying to work on bringing those elbows away from your chest. So on your inhale, press the elbows away. Exhale, hinge at the hips, sending that right heel back for a modified warrior 3. Slowly make your way back up, still keeping on that left leg. From here, taking the standing eagle. So inhale that right knee up high. Exhale, bring it over the top of your left knee and sit down into that single leg chair. This is your full eagle here. Trying to keep your spine nice and tall as you sit low. Feeling the burn in that left stance leg. And slowly release, arms overhead, both feet on the ground. Walk it out. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way down. Plant your hands, step the feet back, high plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, untuck the toes, shine your heart forward. Exhale, send the hips high. Downward facing. See if you can find some new depth in this down dog. Second time we're here today. Can those heels get a little closer to the mat? On your next inhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, plant through both feet, root to rise, arms come up overhead, mountain pose. Inhale, fold at the hips all the way down. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sitting back into your chair pose. Inhale, hands come to heart center. On your exhale, planting firmly through that right foot, left knee comes up to 90-90. Staying strong through all four corners of your right foot, growing roots into the mat. Inhale, hinge at the hips forward. Exhale, slow and controlled. Step that left foot back. High crescent lunge. Squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. Core is engaged. Knee is back behind those toes on the right side. Inhale for eagle arms, and on your exhale, sweep that left hand up and under the right, taking the bend in the elbows, left fingertips into the right palm of the hand. Inhale, pressing those elbows away. Shift the weight forward, slow and controlled, single leg mountain pose. Inhale, press those elbows away. Exhale, modified warrior 3. Kick that left heel back, keeping the eagle bind in the arms. It's okay if you lose it. It's totally normal. On your next inhale, come back to the single leg stance, keeping those eagle arms. Step that right knee up and over the left. On your exhale, sitting down into that single leg chair for your eagle. Again, trying to keep your spine nice and straight, pressing those elbows away from your chest. One more breath here. Exhale, let it all go. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, slow and controlled, fold at the hips all the way down. Inhale, plant your hands, step your feet back. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. On your next inhale, come down to a tabletop and find your way onto your seat. So sending both legs long in front of you. On your inhale, shifting your weight to your left hip, taking a bend in the right knee, bringing that right heel towards your right glute. Again, here it could be handy to have a block or a foam roller to raise your pelvis, allowing you to sit deeper into this half hero. And if you need to challenge yourself a little bit here, shifting your weight back onto the palms of your hands. Maybe coming down to elbows. Maybe not. Wherever you find yourself, your next inhale, meet back up on the palms of your hands. Inhale, shift that weight into the left hip. Exhale, send the right leg long. Inhale, reverse it. So shifting into that right hip, and exhale, send the left heel towards your left glute. Half hero on the opposite side. Trying to sit up nice and tall. Deepening into this pose with each exhale. Noticing and accepting differences from your right to left side. Might be a little more challenging on the left compared to the right, or vice versa. Pushing your body as much or as little as you're feeling like today. when you're ready, wherever you find yourself, come back up into that tall, seated position. Inhale, shift the weight to the right hip. Exhale, send the left leg over. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over both legs, reaching for knees, shins, ankles, toes, whatever's accessible for you. Slight bend in the knee is okay. Trying to bring that forehead towards the knee. Creating length in your spine, hinging at the hips. Again, for those of you with issues in this, creating more length and more mobility by raising your pelvis can be very helpful. So you don't even necessarily need a block. A blanket that's folded up a couple times will help just to lift your sacrum enough to create a deeper hinge at your pelvis and creates more space for this forward fold. On your next inhale, come back up to a tall spine. Exhale, hands to heart center. From here, keeping the left leg long. Inhale, bend that right knee, planting that right foot on the outside of your left knee. Exhale, give that right knee a squeeze. Inhale, plant the right hand behind your sacrum. Nice tall spine. On your exhale, left elbow to the outer edge of your right knee, twisting over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, send the right leg long. Inhale, bend that left knee, stepping that left foot up and over the right. Exhale, give the left knee a little squeeze. Nice tall spine here. Another breath. On your inhale, plant that left hand behind the sacrum. Exhale, right elbow to the outer edge of the left knee, twisting over that left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, legs go long. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to lower down to your spine. On your next inhale, both feet go high towards the ceiling. Exhale, grabbing for the outer or inner edge of those feet, pressing the knees down towards the earth, opening up adductors, hips for a happy baby. Spine is nice and long, deepening the press of your knees into the earth with each exhale. On your next inhale, release the feet. Exhale, legs go long. Taking up as little or as much space on the mat for Shavasana. Allowing your body, your mind, your breath to return to a steady state. Scanning your body, noticing any areas you might be holding tension. Might be your jaw, might be your forehead. Try and shape that tension. Let it melt, let it wash over you. Finding that peace and that stillness. I'm thinking it's probably appropriate to end class here. If you're ready, just bringing your awareness back into your body, taking that gaze towards the third eye, giving yourself a pat on the back for showing up today, even if it was a little extra challenging. Eternally grateful for each and every one of you. Namaste.